flowers of the night, gleaming from the moisture and the
with that trio there, were you playing rhythm guitar while you sang?
Yeah, I mean, we would do the scratch.
Vocalist at all without your guitar?
Oh, not usually without my guitar. We would do this kind of the scratch track. I would play the song and sing, but the way they recorded, they would play everything with me. Mm-hmm. I have a great story about when we first got together in the rehearsal room. So we rented a rehearsal room like Nashville, like it's cool. Like people rent whole halls to practice their tour.
Oh, yeah.
Like they rent a whole warehouse to set up the stage and the lights and it's a crazy.
It's almost like they know where they're
thing.
going to stand, where they're going to stand. Like,
and the pyrotechnics or whatever's happening, right? And so we rent this rehearsal hall and we're in there. And Michael had become a friend of mine, and his wife Lindsay, who later became his wife. I was the only person at their wedding at the Justice of the Peace, and I'm taking pictures with a Polaroid camera, and it's going, and the judge is looking at me like, and then we went and ate sushi, Anyway, so I was comfortable with Michael. I didn't know Kenny and Chad as well, but we're all in this rehearsal room, and the sound guys come in, and we've all got our guitars on, and we've got 4 particular songs we're going to work on, and they're smoking. Michael's smoking, and the sound guy says, "Michael, I need to hear your bass." And he goes dank, dank, dank because he's smoking. And then Kenny goes down, 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 and this song takes off between the two of them, and it's in 7/8 time, which I don't even understand. Like I couldn't even count that for you.
Yeah.
So they just write this song in front of me, and Chad's suddenly playing, and down, 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 and they go put lyrics to it.
Wow.
I can't even play that song live.
Wow.
Right? But that's the kind of caliber. These guys, the music lives in them in a way that feels supernatural. Like it feels like it's channeled from somewhere else.
Wow.
And you get a bit of imposter syndrome in the company of that. I don't have any of that. Like I barely play guitar. I think I know how to exercise a creative muscle, whatever that is. I'm paint a painting. I'm going to help an organization. I know how to exercise the mechanics of being creative, how to get out of the way, how to invite ideas. But I don't have what they had.
Yeah, for me, Nashville, what was hard is I went to one songwriting session, because by the time I was in Nashville, everybody collaborates.
Right.
So you get together in a house like this. There's houses everywhere that people are just using for that. And they're made for that. They're usually owned by the publishing companies. And so you get in there with 4 people you've never met. And what I discovered is it's always the same thing. It's like they know 5 chords, and each one wants to put his own chord in there, so he's part of or she is part of the songwriting. And at the end, I'm like, none of it makes sense. It's not a good song. It's another song that sounds like something else, and I didn't like it at all. It doesn't work for me.
I think that you bring up an interesting thing, though. So Nashville is a huge publishing, songwriting town, and there are people who get good at that skill that you're talking about, and they've made amazing songs together, right? Like these songwriting duos, and but it's different if you're an artist, and you're a different artist if you need to sing your own material, right? Like somebody like Patty Griffith. She writes those songs. Those are her songs. You feel them. They're different. That's a different singer than we've got this beautiful blonde woman. We're going to run up the charts, and we're going to put every good song coming from all the songwriters for her. That is a curated talent versus a raw, this is the soul of me as an artist out there. And so you're an artist.
I consider myself one. I hope I am. But
that would be my answer to your story. You couldn't tolerate that because you're not a mechanic.
It's very strange, but it's a very good. It works really well. Nashville is full of that.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect that. I went there to try to get seen with my
For
own
sure.
thing, different
For sure.
thing. And I ended up into country bands, and I played everywhere, but never did my thing, because I couldn't.
I have a different version of that. I've been doing that since I left Nashville, and that's that I help all the. I do like I started a podcast where I interviewed other artists doing other things, and I helped in the creative district for 12 years, and I finally went in the podcast. Somebody said something, and I'm like, "What am I doing? I'm doing it again. I'm doing everybody else's stuff." And that's part of the downsizing that I've done right now. Is I got to give myself 1 decade where it's just my stuff.
No, you're right to do that. And life's too short.
Yeah.
You should do it at least at some point.
Yeah.
It's tough. We all have things we want to be part of, and I love meeting all the people I've met by doing things like this.
Oh,
and
it
my
is
call out.
great.
It's incredibly awesome. You know, and we get to learn. I know you, but I don't know you. So now I'm gonna know more.
But the thing with the podcast wasn't the interview. It was the hours and hours I was spending editing them on the computer. That's where finally I'm like, those hours and hours could be spent on something else. And
some
I don't
days
regret
you're not
anything.
ready for it, and you
What's
have to produce that thing for that day. And the day before, you're like, I don't feel like doing it today.
Yeah.
Can I do it Friday?
Yeah. And I don't regret any of my time in things like the creative district. I mean, that was just a wonderful thing, and Mancus is such a creative place, and I think Cortez is really blooming as a creative place. It's doing great things. I don't regret
starting
it.
to morph together. I think
I agree.
Cortez is really starting to, in Dolores in there, we're starting to get our own thing, and Durango's over there, and we have a little crossing over, but for the most part, we're getting a nucleus around here.
It feels good. The Montezuma nucleus. I agree.
Exactly. Good
And quite a
town.
few people come from Durango here, actually.
Yeah.
Strangely, and strangely, it's great.
In general, the culture here is fascinating because none of us move here for our jobs. We move here for the landscape and for.
Did you choose to move? Like, how did you end up here?
My partner and I, at the time, were in Silicon Valley. It's a rough place to be.
Where
Really
was that?
smart people. Palo Alto, San Francisco, the Bay Area.
Okay.
And it's. I mean, talk about working with the smartest people I've ever met in my life. I mean, just really smart people and made cool stuff. And they knew the creative process out there. Like they knew how to. They could sit in a group like this and argue an idea. That's crap. What if we did it like this? And I'm like, no, your idea was better. And, and not turn that into, ill will. But there's lots of energy and tussling. And did you mean this? No, that's so stupid. Wait a minute. I know what you're saying.
Is that a think tank? Is it essentially?
Kind of.
Kind of. And
but
so,
you don't pull any punches. You go
right.
That idea.
Right.
It's not going to work for what we're looking for.
And then you can plead the case and say, it will too work. You're not here and you don't understand these 6 things.
Sure.
So I loved that there was this culture of invention there. And that's what invention, I think, takes, being willing to push at something, not let something be precious right away. They say Steve Jobs had the ability to say no longer than anybody else. They'd say, this is a glass, it's a perfect glass. No, make it better.
Well, that's how you get to results, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
As long as you can get along with people. Some people cannot work like that either, which is too bad.
And the results pretty much show if the talent creating them is working.
Eventually, you see.
Somebody might be full of themselves, and the final result ends up to be not what anybody's looking for.
It's that saying the sum is greater than the whole of its parts, right? That's what a band is.
Right, exactly.
Like that's why it's so much more fun to play with a band than by yourself because everything gets bigger and better and more interesting.
Absolutely. If you have the right people and the freedom to do their best, all of it is combined. How did you get into technology? Did you study that?
I just had this buddy with an Apple IIe who said, I want to make this software. Will you help me animate a turtle? And I'm like, I can animate a turtle. I just wasn't very fearful about it. And so the very first software I made was on big floppy disks and was sold to schools.
So what were you, HTML? Or were you
No. I was just doing graphics, and you were moving literally one.
Okay.
I mean, you built back then. You built all of it 1 pixel at a time.
Yeah.
64 pixels by 64 pixels, I think, or 128 or something.
Jeez.
But yeah. I mean, I think I'm here in this area because it is the most diverse geographical place I've ever seen, where you can.
Do you know about it? You?
No, I came to somebody's 50th birthday party.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
and I knew Colorado, but I didn't know this part of Colorado existed at all, and I don't think most Coloradans do.
No,
you know?
It's not usually where you go if you go to Colorado necessarily. The first place you think of is more like Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Don't you get these calls or somebody will say, I'm coming to Colorado, I'm going to see you. And I'm like, no, you're going to go to the airport in Denver, and I'm 8 hours from there.
Oh, I'm 8 hours away, okay.
Oh, see, I'm this person. I'm not this person.
Right.
I'm this old.
Yeah, I see that, yeah. My parents still have I always tell Bill about it. It just drives me nuts. They finally, in the 90s, they finally went from the
to the push button.
To the push button. They still have the push button. And my poor mom, she's 86. She has to stand by the wall because they never got her a phone with an antenna. I'm like, $30, buddy. Tell my brother every day almost. I mean, every time I talk to him. Get her a phone she can sit down on the couch with.
Well, I was just going to say, over the years, do you see yourself as a solo artist at all? Or is it got to be a collaboration with...
No.
You've been playing a lot.
I play by myself
right?
now. You know that it's... I found it to be a little heartbreaking putting a band together because you just get to sounding good and the bass player moves away or you know,
somebody gets married.
Real typical.
And what my favorite combination honestly is pretty acoustic with big harmonies. I got to sing with a guy, my best friend for a long time, Jimmy Butler, and he had that kind of Lindsey Buckingham kind of harmony where he could just swim around you while you're singing and just sing these parts and I love harmony. I love things pretty stripped down. I love cello and French horn and those really haunting kind of instruments. I'd love to do that someday, but keeping a band together is a commitment. You have to have space like this. It's a bunch of relationships. There was a point where I felt like I had 5 husbands. You know, it's like, yes, your hair is wonderful. I love your hair. Oh, you didn't eat anything, and you need to look in my refrigerator. Okay, go ahead. You know, like it's a different thing. You know, it's complicated. And once you start having relationships, then your partner has to have a relationship with your band too.
Yeah. No, it's like being married multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've played around here. I won the Amplified Songwriters thing last year, and I will get to headline it this year, which is just crazy because there was great people playing. I just had the right spot. I think I was at the right spot.
Nah, don't take it away from yourself. You won it.
I did win it, but
you deserve it.
But you know, it was a really magical that songwriting focused with women. I thought it was really cool.
Right.
But you know, that's another thing I was thinking about talking about. It was a little weird because I'm kind of a third gendered person. I have always occupied this kind of gender ambivalence. I never and I think this is a fascinating conversation I've never heard anybody have, in that when you sit in a place like Nashville and you decide to be a singer, you're a girl singer. And there's, you know, you're going to have some kind of fashion sense, and you're going to have some kind of image, and if you're male, they expect you to have some kind of a style that you're going to be consistent with, and it's just like not that at all, right? And so even standing on that stage with all these women singers, when we got done, we kind of all got up and I think we sang something together. I very much felt that being this third gender, like maybe I should be at the They Them Songwriter Festival.
The They Them.
You know, which there wasn't even that term when I was 16 or 22 or 35.
Sure.
I made up the term third gender because I'm like, well, And that's why I got to be with all those guys in Nashville, was because I wasn't like the girl invading the guys club. I was kind of just like a dude.
Yeah.
And so I got to hang out with some amazing people like John Cowan and Rodney Crowell. And I just kind of got to be there because I wasn't a girl who was fawning over the guys.
Yeah, sure.
I had a different
Right.
energy, but they were like friends. Like, I didn't want to go home with any of them.
Right.
So I got access in a different way.
Interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, those are some names that you're hanging out with.
I was really fortunate.
Yeah. Did through all of your connections there, did you ever meet Vince Gill at all?
I did meet Vince Gill.
He
was really he'd had some kind of procedure, and he'd been he'd been under anesthesia, and he was on some drugs, and he was just goofy and silly. And
was he?
And I was around him a few times. Really sweet, genuinely, really good person.
Yeah. He's got a dear friend that he played music with in Oklahoma when they were first starting bluegrass. That lives.
Really?
Yeah, right up here by Dolores.
Cool.
Named Jim Wagner, and they're childhood friends. And when Vince is doing a concert in Vegas or whatever, he gets
cool.
Jim and his
goes up
family tickets and stuff, and so they're still real good friends. And it just seems like a wonderful character. I was hoping to meet him back when COVID just got going. We were gonna go to the International Guitar Show that's in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
And right there, we had booked plane flights and everything for like
and
February.
COVID stuff.
no.
And I was going to meet all of his friends that play,
Were you with Tim Sullivan at the time?
Yeah, I was still playing with him, but anyway, the COVID thing got started and canceled the whole big deal. Where I was going to bring a dozen of my collector's guitars, and Jim was going to bring some, and he was going to stay with these famous guys because they all knew Jim, or they all knew Vince, and they knew Jim too. So,
Wow.
that whole, all that anticipation for meeting all those really special people.
What a disappointment.
Just blew up with watching the world get ready for a pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a weird time for sure. Everybody was like,
oh, it was.
nobody knew what to expect.
No.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
how I
think
ended up here.
we're in the aftermath of all that
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
We've never really recovered from that. Yeah. I would say that the most interesting person, for me, the coolest person that I got to meet was Joan Baez, and I got to be in the studio with her.
Wow.
And here's the funny thing is, there was this record that she put out called Play Me Backwards, and it's really different. The percussion on it's just like, if you can listen to that record, Play Me Backwards, Joan Baez, they got her out of the high register. Her voice is lower, the songs are amazing, and the percussion on it is just. And so it's during the time that I'm in the studio with Kenny Greenberg and Michael and Chad Cronwell, and Kenny and I spent the most time together because he really rose up as the primary producer of the music we were doing. And I'm telling him, man, there was this record and I just loved it, and I'd always liked to do a record with kind of that vibe, and it's called Play Me Backwards. And he's just like, you're so funny. He produced it.
Oh.
It was his record.
Really?
And he thought I was making fun of him or being stupid. And so
You
he's
did.
like, well, she's coming to town, and just come over. We're gonna mix her vocals down. So you know how you punch in and fix vocals.
Right.
So she had several tracks, and in the studio they may know that this one track was pretty much the best take, but you missed a note or the timing was off, and so they'll slide in and out to find, and then they'll punch
one,
that all
right.
together.
Right.
Very seldom anybody sings a whole song. You're piecing
Right.
it, and then if you can't fix that one, you go into the vocal booth and you record a better version. And then suddenly you
those
have a whole
lines, yeah.
song.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in the studio with Joan Baez, who that whole era of songwriters are why I care about songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and she goes, "This is like being in a humilitron." Because mostly what we're playing are her bad notes.
Well, and plus you hear them by themselves sometimes. You're like, it's just like
isolated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the word.
And we got to eat, we got to hang out, and we ate together, and it was just really special. That was my favorite one.
Pretty neat.
Really
Wow.
cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have some recording capabilities at your place yet?
I do. I mean, I own that stuff, but I don't perform well when I'm my own engineer.
Oh,
It's just not the same.
Yeah, it's
I
demanding.
can't get inside of it.
I see.
Like, I mean, I kind of have a pretty good tech. When I was making technology, I was the artist. I was making it visually, and why does it do it, and how will people, I wasn't programming so much. I can do some of that, but I really want less technology in my life.
I see. So you can do it for other people, but you don't want to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
It takes away from the artistic creative side, or even the performance, when you have to also remember, don't forget to turn this on. Okay,
you're double tracking,
I've got
right?
to do this, and you have all these things, and while you're doing it, while you're performing, sometimes, did I do this? Oh crap! Okay,
Yeah.
You go check. It really cuts when you have somebody else doing everything. You're like, okay, I'm ready. Okay, let's go. And then you're in that only. Yeah.
It's hard enough at the level we've been speeded up to. We weren't operating at full maximum intensity 30 years ago. We've been sped up to where everything's coming in.
It's crazy. It's crazy. My brain can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
And so think how much harder it is to really be inside a song, really present inside a song when you're singing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone back to, I don't know if you have any really old recordings that were not meant to be usable?
I want to, but they're on cassette.
That's what I had too. I know. I got an entire crate of cassettes, but when
there's
you listen to
songs
those,
sitting
it's
out
so
there.
cool because you're like, oh my gosh, I wrote this, and you realize at the time you had no agenda. There was just you were just doing the song you felt like doing at that moment. Later in life, you start realizing, I've got it. Maybe it has to be a hit. Maybe 3.5 minutes only. You learn all this stuff. And
that's a good point. That gets in your way just as much as having played with really good guys, and then now it's just me and the guitar. That mental pressure that what you're doing right now has to be as good or better than what you've done before can kill you as an artist.
Yeah, because now you're not really focusing on the actual thing.
You're listening to the reviews before they come in.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Hey, talking about that, I would love for you to do a song for us. An
Okay.
original, of course. It
What's
has
that?
to be an original
Oh,
song.
well, I don't really do anything else.
Good.
Can you do an Eagles song for us?
I could do it badly. I would miss chords and words, but I know enough of them.
So let's do that. We'll
right.
take a quick break, just shut
sounds
off
good.
and reset
Yeah.
you. We're going to do it right here. As simple
Perfect.
as, where you are. Simple.
I think about people like Neil Young, who wrote Old Man at 21. This song that has so much wisdom, and and Jackson Browne, the same thing. He wrote this song, longing for love and the struggle for the, trying to make sense between the longing for the love and the struggle for the legal tender. And he, again, 21 years old or something, and you think, well, I have a song that I don't think I could have ever written till I was this age. It's just a song about love. It's not a love song, but it took being on the planet a long time before I could write this song, and so it's pretty special to me. I don't even know what I call it. Maybe you'll know after I'm done.
I'll help you title it.
Love is a messy thing, 'cause it's made of strings and angel wings. It pulls you up and it leaves you low,
takes you to the stars before it brings you home. Such a simple thing, don't you know? It's just a simple thing. Love, love, love wants to know your name, wants to take your hand, wants to ease the pain. The price is the cost of letting go, tearing down the walls where you hide your soul. Such a simple thing, don't you know? It's just a simple thing. Love is a bird, love is a lion, love is a moment after years of trying. Love is a boat, love is a ladder, love is a moment in between the laughter. It's the midnight sun, it's the sound of snow. Such a simple thing, don't you know? Love, love, love is a baby's cry. It's a Valentine. It's a hard goodbye. It's the brightest light and the darkest night. Such a simple thing. It might be everything. I think it's everything. It's everything.
Nice. Cool. I've been a big fan.
Who is it?
Rodney Crowell.
Did you hear the Houston Kid record?
You know, I'm not sure if I heard it because I never owned it, and I don't know.
Yeah. He was in his second marriage when he did that record, and I just think it's it's a great record. And it's got great songs.
I got to investigate it because I really do like.
It's called Houston Kid.
Houston Kid, yeah. He's quite a talent.
Yeah.
He seems like a good guy too.
Well, I'm going to tell a good guy Rodney Crowell story.
All right, that's good.
All right, I have a good guy Rodney Crowell story, and I didn't know him well. I was in the social circle. Mm-hmm. There were people I were really close to, but you're not close to all of them. You see them kind of at events and at parties, and
sure.
And so in this particular case, there was a woman in Nashville named Marcia Wood who was beautiful and had a just incredible voice. But she put at least 2 records up her nose.
Oh boy!
Oh, that's sad when they have all this talent and you're like, come on.
But she enjoyed herself.
Okay.
But and I will say this well, no, maybe I'll wait for that part. So Marcia got sick. Like she eventually pivoted into film, and she was doing film, and she had been a part of the Harmony girl singers that toured with like Leon Russell, and they were kind of known as these amazing harmony singers, and everybody loved Marcia. I mean, Marcia was amazing. She had big personality, talented, funny, and she got sick. And we all kind of were with her for about 3 years through her being sick. And at some point they knew it was getting close, and they wanted to do a big party for her. And there were so many people that came that they did it at a theater. Like the party for her was at this theater in kind of the downstairs area, a huge room and a giant circle of people with guitars, and they're all famous. You know, they're all big names, and they're all playing. They're all doing what people do in a song circle in Nashville. They're playing their hottest or their most important song, and for that moment, all the attention is on them, and they're going around the room, and so Marcia and her friends are putting harmony on everything, and they sound amazing. But none of them are playing. None of the 3 of them are playing. They're just adding to. And when it gets to Rodney, who has a new wife with a new album, and he could have focused on all that, you know. He could have been showing their latest stuff. he started singing every girl band song so that the three of them
Could sing.
were
along.
singing the primary parts for 20 minutes.
Really?
He just
Yeah.
pulled song after
Very
song
kind.
after song out that let them sing their asses off.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, you are a fine human.
Class act.
Yeah, that's what I think
Fine
to do.
human,
Yeah, yeah.
Because it is a town where everybody, any kind of music town, and I don't care if you're acting, everybody's doing this. Am I up? Or, and when you go in a different room, you might be the most
Yeah.
talented person in that room, and then, later, people are like, who are you?